What's up, guys? Doc Ito here with an Alita update. The doctor is in. Doctor is actually out of town on official Hunter Warrior duty, but wanted to give you a quick update on the box office numbers and what I'm looking for on Sunday when the weekend numbers do come in, which will help us to know what happened with this downward revision, and it'll help us predict where the movie will finally end up when the weekend numbers do come in. But first, couple reminders. Head on over to change.org and sign the petition. We're at about 8750. By this time tomorrow, hopefully we'll be over 9,000, and then 10,000 is next. An update on the IMDb poll for favorite graphic novel. Alita is killing it, and we're over 1,000 votes better than number 2. So good job, everyone. Reminder that social media is down for Alita ever since the merger, and that we are the ones who need to speak up for her while they are silent. We do not stand by in the presence of evil, and we will fight. Number 3, James Cameron did tweet a couple things out. One about environmental stewardship on the Avatar set. People quickly started commenting about the Alita sequel in the comments. I think as long as we are respectful, this is good. We need to keep awareness of Alita up, especially as the movie gets out of theaters. But again, we need to do this in a respectful fashion. Again, he retweeted something about the Avatar sequel, and again, we have a couple comments about Alita sequels themselves. I wanted to highlight a couple of super fans who are doing their best to support Alita. Jerome here has reached 100 viewings of the movie, and he tweets some words for Alita, speaking how he will defend Alita with everything he has. It's the movie of a lifetime. He loves it with all that he has, and thanking Jim Cameron and Rodriguez from the bottom of his heart for bringing it out, speaking about how Alita built up an incredible fan base over a month, rallying us in a way so that we are not ones to stand by and accept people talking down on the movie, never losing sight of what we want to accomplish. There are other examples like Rusty Angel, who went to 53 screenings and had a private premiere with 120 fans in 4DX in Taiwan. For those that don't know, reaching out to movie theaters does allow us to get the movie back in IMAX if we are able to buy enough seats to get them to do another screening. So for those who are trying to get the movie back, if you can get several dozen people out or buy tickets for them, that's one way to get the movie back into IMAX if you talk to the movie theater managers, and they are actually open to this. Finally, I want to point out Kevin Yang, who commented on one of my videos. He lives in China and talks about how he invested $200,000 for IMAX construction on a cinema, and he was going to get 15% of the total profits, but he then told them to make sure that all of the money goes directly to the box office so that Alita would get credit for them, and he wouldn't take any profits for 3 months. So this is just incredible. I wish I could like and pin this message again, but true super fans. So let's take a look at the numbers. In the US on Thursday, before my last update, I expected about 115,000, but it was actually 107,000. So a little bit under, but again, only about a 30% drop, which was good. However, on Friday, I expected around 170,000, and they are estimating only 130,000. And the big problem here is we went from 1,400 theaters to 676. This was a drop of 763 theaters, so the movie actually lost over half of the theaters from Thursday to Friday. This makes it very difficult going forward. I had initially estimated about 600,000 in the US for this weekend, but with this loss of theaters, I think we're actually only looking at about 450 to 500,000 in the US. The China numbers are very confusing. On a prior video, they were at 132.88 on March 26th, but then looking at my video from later, it was then revised to 132.71, losing 180,000. I screen capped this on Friday, where the number fell even further to 132.52 total. When I pull it up now, it's back up to 132.85, essentially where it was before. So I think there is a possibility that overall numbers do get revised a little bit back up if some of this revision was due to China. But either way, going forward, China is not going to make a lot more money. In China, it only made 32,800 on Thursday and 17,400 on Friday. I estimate the rest of the world around 100,000 over the last 2 days, for a total of about nearly $400,000. We are at 84.5 million in the US, 132.9 million with the latest update on the ENT group. Overall, it's either just over 400 million, or my initial estimates would have been at 401.1. However, because of this downward revision, I'm going to go based on those numbers. And it's very hard for me to predict where we'll be, but I will readjust the model based on the numbers we get tomorrow. Here's what I expect on Sunday when we get the estimates. If the movie is barely over 400 million, this means that the downward revision last week is likely permanent, the 4 numbers were less than expected, and the movie is unlikely to make much more at the box office. If it's at 401 to 402 million, in that range, it means that the downward revision was temporary, it was reversed, and I think the movie makes potentially another 1 or 2 million beyond this. I think the first scenario is more likely, especially since the movie has lost over half of its theaters in the US. It's very hard to come back from losing that many theaters, but if anyone would be able to do it, it would be Alita fans. Either way, I think the movie is going to be over 400 million. I think it has been over 400 million, even with this downward revision, but I don't want to make any announcements until we have official sources. If somehow the movie is under, then I'm going to put my conspiracy hat on, but let's hope that's not the case. Let's continue to fight, continue to support the movie. We do not stand by in the presence of evil. Remember to like and subscribe so Doc Ito can keep bringing these free repairs, and the next repair will likely be Monday night because, like I said, I'm out on official Hunter Warrior duty. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.